Yes, and Jelani Asar here with Income Protection Atlanta. First things first, go to incomeprotectionatlanta.com. Right now, just open up a new tab or a new browser in Firefox or whatever your browser may be. Go to incomeprotectionatlanta.com and join our email list so you can receive your free report entitled Protect My Income in Atlanta, only for you if you desire more financial security in this volatile and chaotic economy. And now let's get to our interview with another mesmerizing Atlanta business owner.
Interesting. So you have to be able to communicate on various different levels in totally different worlds.
Correct. Yeah. For example, when you're talking to a board member, that's one type of communication, right?
Right.
When you're talking to a prospect, that's a completely different type of communication.
Right.
More sales oriented, obviously. And then when you're talking internally, you may have a task oriented approach to what you're doing. So absolutely, it's a lot of gear shifting, and quite frankly, that is a taxing kind of process.
Interesting. Now, how do you deal with it, first of all, or maybe second of all, and then first of all would be how do you prepare yourself? I mean, what type of exercises or what do you do in order to keep your skills up, and what did you do before you came into the position in order to build up those skills and prepare you?
Sure. Well, I mean, it's like with everything, right? You start at the bottom of something and you try to work your way up.
Yeah.
I've had a career as a consultant for a number of years and with big companies, and then also working in software companies, and then also working a lot of time in payment and payment processing type companies. So again, there was a very focused background that I was fortunate enough to have to fit into this particular opportunity.
Right.
The skills that you develop. Again, hopefully you learned a little bit when you were in college and all that, and then as you learn about a business, the best thing to do is kind of take a broad-based approach, right? Learn about as much of any business as you can. You might start from sales and marketing, work your way into some basics about the financials of a deal, of the process of the company. So it's pretty broad-based, for me, it's been pretty broad-based. Other folks might be able to do it from a more focused perspective. Maybe they're stronger at sales and marketing or something like that, and you can work your way up that way. I think the key is to focus on the strengths that you bring to the table and then figure out how to fill in for the things that you're not as strong at.
And would you suggest focusing more on filling in those weaknesses yourself, or bringing in help? Bringing in people who are strong in those areas.
It's definitely finding people that you can trust that are strong in those areas. Absolutely. For example, like for me, I don't consider myself. I have a basic capability in technology, meaning that I can understand it, but I know I need to have strong technology folks in here so that they can figure out how to solve basically the problems that I bring back from the market, or should I say the opportunities that I bring back from the market.
I see. And what are some of what are your strongest skills, your strongest skill set?
Oh, boy. I would say I can kind of put together a combination of sales, and for me, I focus on large type opportunities. So I kind of focus on sales, and then I have an operational capability. So you can kind of say, well, look, we've got sales targets, we've got numbers we've got to hit.
Yeah.
So I can focus on that as well as then spending time outside of the company with prospects and customers.
Okay.
So I would say that's kind of where I focus. I have a tendency to focus.
Right, and you've been showing that recently.
Well, I hope.
All of these events. And then, because I'm in sales as well, and, when I was doing my research into entrepreneurship and just trying to see what it is that it takes and what I need to prepare myself for as I learn more about it and eventually possibly take on a role similar to yourself. I noticed that sales was very often noted as one of the vital skills that you need to have. And this is one of your strengths. So what would you say are some of the fundamental skills or some of the essence of sales?
Well, the essence of sales, I mean, at its lowest and simplest level is just what I call closing behavior. The big close is always made up of hundreds of little closes.
Right.
So it's basically, being able to establish a relationship with, that prospect and close them on a number of things during the process. Obviously, it's the ability to, somehow or another relate to people, right? I don't use the term empathy per se, but just being able to relate to them, understand them, ask questions more than you talk to them, talk with them. In sales, the best sales folks that I've ever known have incredible listening skills. They hear everything. And then they're able to interact with what they hear,
right,
and then do something with that. But again, all that is just wrapped around what I call closing behavior. So that's what it would be if you're looking at sales. And I'm sure if somebody came in on the marketing side, there would be a number of things that people would know about that. I don't consider myself as strong on that side, so I wouldn't ever give anybody advice on that.
Okay. And a couple more questions for you. This has been extremely insightful.
And wonderful. And join us for our next part of another fantastic interview with our great guest, with another amazing Atlanta business owner. In the next video.